In 2000, an American scientist working for the military instructs his Korean assistant to dump approximately 200 bottles of toxic chemicals down the drain, disregarding the potential impact on the local river. As years go by, people start noticing unusual occurrences in the river. Two fishermen catch a fish in a cup and observe that it appears mutated. When one of the men tries to touch it, the creature reacts, causing him to drop the cup, allowing the fish to quickly swim away. In 2006, on a bridge, a businessman contemplating suicide sees something dark and large moving underwater before he jumps. One afternoon near the river, Gang-do falls asleep inside his father's snack stall. A homeless boy named Seo tries to steal some food, but his brother Se-jin takes him away. The stall owner Hae-bong wakes his son and reminds him to get to work. At that moment, Gang-do sees his daughter Yoon-seo returning from school. Yoon-seo is upset because Gang-do sent her drunk uncle to the parents' meeting instead of attending himself. She has been ignoring her dad's calls because she has an old phone with poor signal and is embarrassed to use it in public. Gang-do and Yoon-seo rush into the stall, where Gang-do has a hidden box of money he's been saving to buy her a new phone. They turn on the TV and learn from the news that a dead body was found in the Han River, but they change channels to watch Gang-do's sister Namju compete in an archery tournament. They are interrupted by Hae-bong, who sends Gang-do out with free snacks for some complaining customers. With a person dangling from its jaws, the monster jumps on Donald, hurting him while Gang-do runs away. He finds the signpost and this time throws it at the monster's sensitive tail, finally injuring it. This also causes some monster blood to fall on Gang-do's face before he runs again. When Yoon-seo finally leaves the stall, Gang-do grabs her hand and drags her away with the crowd. The area is in pure chaos, and many people fall, including Gang-do. He loses his daughter's hand and blindly reaches for it again before running, only to realize he grabbed the wrong teenager in the confusion. When he turns around, he is horrified to see the creature capturing Yoon-seo and taking her away as it jumps back into the river. Gang-do jumps in as well and watches as, on the opposite shore, the monster spits out a human and replaces them with Yoon-seo before disappearing into the water. Moments later, the police and military surround the area. Gang-do and Hae-bong are forced to evacuate the stall, and Gang-do takes the box of coins with him. While the river area is closed off, a funeral is held for all the victims of the incident. Namju arrives with her bronze medal and cries for her dead niece. They are also joined by the third sibling, Nam-il, the only family member with a college education but currently unemployed due to his past as an activist. The whole family has a breakdown on the floor, gaining the attention of reporters who start recording and taking pictures. Nam-il reveals he heard about Gang-do grabbing the wrong hand and insults his brother for such a mistake, triggering a fight that must be stopped by the authorities. At that moment, a group of men in hazmat suits enter as a mysterious smoke fills the room. An agent announces that there are buses waiting for everyone and asks if anyone touched the creature. Gang-do mentions he got blood on his face, causing the hazmat team to put him in a special bag and drag him away. Then the news covers the incident. Donald, a U.S. Army sergeant, lost an arm and was sent to a U.S. Army hospital. The military medics discovered that the body parts that came in contact with the creature were having a strange reaction and blamed it on an unknown virus. The U.S. Army sent a sample to the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, and they confirmed the creature from the river is the host of the virus. Now, special forces trained in biological warfare are the only ones allowed near the river. Fumigation units are working on cleaning the river area with smoke. All the people present during the incident and the funeral are sent to a hospital to be quarantined and tested. In the evening, Gang-do is scratching some spots on his back when his phone suddenly rings. Gang-do is shocked to hear Yoon-seo's voice asking for help. She says she's in the sewers, but before she can share more, the communication cuts off. By the river, two fumigation agents stop their truck when they see something. Suddenly, the monster emerges, knocks down an agent, and lands on top of the truck. Minutes later, the creature leaves the men in a sewer, where it's keeping a bunch of bodies to eat later. After the monster leaves, Yoon-seo comes out of hiding from a hole in the wall and tries to wake the agent, but the man is dead. She searches his pockets for a phone, but it isn't working. In the hospital, Gang-do's family tries to tell a cop that Yoon-seo is alive, but he doesn't believe them and says Gang-do dreamed the call. Eventually, the group reaches a warehouse outside town, where it's revealed that Hae-bong hired some criminals to get them out of the hospital and provide them with a few items to help find Yoon-seo. The final bill ends up being much higher than expected, and the criminals won't accept Hae-bong's jewelry, so they take all his credit cards instead. In the van, the siblings watch the news and learn they're wanted fugitives. The family leaves in a fumigation truck that the criminals got for them with 2 hazmat suits, a few weapons, and a map of the sewers. Gangdu and Haibong put on the suits while Nam-il and Namju hide under a blanket. At the security check, the manager points out that this truck belongs to a fumigation company that signed up at the last second, which he finds suspicious. Haibong throws a bag at him to bribe him before taking the truck into the river area, and the manager opens the bag to find the box of coins. Afterward, the family follows the map to visit the sewers in the area, desperately looking for Yunseo. Moments later, the family makes it to the stall and shares a warm dinner while pretending Yunseo is with them to keep their hope up. Meanwhile, the real Yunseo is trying to gather water from a leak. When she hears the monster, she pretends to be unconscious and watches it drop the brothers before leaving. Yunseo checks on them and discovers Se-jin is dead, but Seo is still alive, so she protects him from the creature's eyes. Back to the family, Namju and Nam-il take turns checking the surrounding area with binoculars while Gangdu and Haibong sleep. Nam-il finds the remains of someone's hand, but it's not Yunseo's, so he tosses it away and says nothing to his family. While walking around, Nam-il trips over an empty soju bottle, so he drinks it and starts sobbing, thinking about his past as an activist and how it's ruined his life. Haibong approaches him and says all his children have disappointed him, and he's partially to blame for spoiling them too much after their mother left. Soon, Nam-il sees the monster coming toward them, so he wakes his family up. They prepare their weapons and hide behind the stall, watching the creature devour everything in its path. Namju misses her first shot, but Haibong hits the monster's sensitive tail, making it drop the food bag. Haibong hits the creature again, but when Gangdu tries to throw his Molotov cocktail, he gets too excited and accidentally drops it. Nam-il hits the creature with a burning stick, but it isn't very effective. The monster begins running toward them, so Gangdu and Nam-il rush forward, but the creature uses a tentacle to toss them away. Haibong uses the last shot to attack its face and tells his kids to run before facing the monster directly. The creature grabs Haibong, and Gangdu rushes forward with a stick, but the monster kills Haibong before jumping into the water. When the doctors mention some patient's brain suffered infections and show some lobotomy pictures, Gangdu tries to explain he's the only one that received a call from Yunseo. The doctors ignore him, and Gangdu starts struggling, demanding to be let go, but the doctors tie him to a chair. Nam-il is also trying to find a way to help his brother. He decides to visit his old activist friend Park, who owes him a favor, so he asks him to track down Yunseo's phone. They manage to find the general location and print it on a map. Then Park suddenly betrays Nam-il and calls the police, but Nam-il manages to escape, accidentally leaving the map behind. However, Park is willing to forgive Nam-il for the things he did as an activist, so he lets him go while Nam-il steals the phone of a cop to call his sister. At the hospital, the doctors inject Gangdu with a sedative and prepare to perform a lobotomy on him. Nam-il manages to call his brother and tells him where Yunseo is, and Gangdu quickly fights off the sedation and takes out the guards before escaping the hospital, jumping out the window into a truck. Gangdu finds a metal stick in the truck and uses it to pry off the straps on his head before driving away. Nam-il escapes from the cops and tries to reach the city to meet with his siblings. When the monster arrives, it captures Yunseo again and puts her back in the water before it falls asleep. Namju tries to call Nam-il, but he can't hear her because he's hiding. She finally gets his attention, and he tells her to meet him in the street. Gangdu reaches the sewers and starts searching for his daughter. Yunseo and Seo are hiding in the creature's nest, and when they hear Gangdu's voice, they try to call out to him, but the monster awakens and captures them. Gangdu finally finds the monster and fights it, but the creature overpowers him and starts dragging him to the water. At that moment, the military arrives and shoots the monster, causing it to release Gangdu. The monster tries to escape, but the military surrounds it, using the agent yellow chemical to paralyze it. The creature is weakened, but it still tries to attack, so the military uses flamethrowers to kill it. Gangdu finally finds Yunseo, but it's too late, she has died from her injuries. The family reunites and mourns their loss, realizing the extent of the tragedy that the creature and the government's actions have caused. In the end, Gangdu decides to adopt Seo and raise him as his son, hoping to find some solace and purpose in taking care of the boy who survived the ordeal. The movie concludes with Gangdu and Seo sharing a quiet meal together, symbolizing their determination to move forward despite their losses.